Good evening, everybody, and welcome to their virtual college fair. My name is Michael Gunther, and as crazy as this sounds, I am your Pasco County-based counselor with Grand Canyon University. And for those that don't know, Grand Canyon University is our country's largest faith-based university out in Phoenix, Arizona. All of our dorms have pools. We play D1 sports. Basketball is our big thing. Keep an eye out in your March Madness bracket on both the women's and the men's side for Grand Canyon University this spring. And I represent our school right here in Pasco County. I am Pasco County based. I live in Wesley Chapel. My son graduated from Pasco County schools here. My wife is an administrator, and I provide local supports for those that are interested in doing their education online. Tonight's presentation is going to focus mostly for these options, for those online degree program options. Now, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of folks that have heard about our campus in Phoenix, Arizona. They've heard about our faith-based initiatives. And the reality of it all is those folks that are seeking college options outside of the state of Florida really should take a look at what Grand Canyon University has available. Not only is it the faith-based attitude of who we are, but did I say that all of our dorms have pools? And our dorms are pretty much new. They're based on suite style living, where each person has their own room, has 3 or 4 other roommates. There's a bathroom right there, the kitchen. These dorms are brand new. They're awesome, and is a really cool thing to see it in action. And so when we go around Pasco County schools and we do information sessions with the various different college and career counselors, there are ways for people that are in their junior year or their senior year to connect with me here locally so that we can get you connected with probably somebody that's a lot younger than myself that can talk about the traditional in-person campus opportunities at Grand Canyon University. Now, again, tonight's presentation is going to talk about what we're going to do here virtually through our online options. And if anybody has any questions or any concerns, they can contact me anytime. And the reality of it all, it's really easy to do. This session is being recorded, so hopefully you should be able to stop and go back. But I want you to kind of get your phone out right now and go to your text messaging. And I want you to send me a text message and tell me that you see me tonight doing this presentation or whenever you're watching it. Because when you connect with the local counselor, whether you're interested in our traditional campus in Arizona or doing something online, I will be able to get you some special scholarshiping, okay? Now, when I talk to juniors and seniors in high school, I also give them an opportunity for something called Discover GCU. And Discover GCU is an opportunity where we will fly you out to our campus in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll put you up in a dorm for a couple of nights. You shadow somebody that's studying something that you want to study, and you see what the classes are like. But more importantly, you see what the nightlife is like. And a lot of people love visiting our campus in Phoenix, Arizona, probably because we have 2 Chick-fil-A's on campus. Yes, that's right, 2 Chick-fil-A's on campus. The dining options are really awesome at GCU. And so if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in a special scholarship that we have, we're going to talk about that here shortly, I want you to text me. My cell phone is 813-459-7684. Again, 813-459-7684. All I want you to do is just text me, and then I'll probably reply back and ask for your name and for maybe an email. And then what I'll do is I'll check back in with you and I'll introduce myself, and we'll have a little bit more of a conversation to see where you're at and where you want to be, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. And as I'm sharing my screen, we're going to go through a presentation here at Grand Canyon University, okay? And you should be able to see the screen here. And I'm just going to kind of double check really quickly here and ask Alyssa, who's my moderator. Hey, Alyssa, if you're listening to me, can you come off mute really quick and just confirm that you are seeing the Partnership Pathway PowerPoint presentation?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Hey, you're the best. I appreciate you. Love Pasco County. And this is pretty much a pathway presentation that I do when I talk to principals and assistant principals here in the school district. And the reality of it all is I want them to kind of be aware of what it is that we're doing. Alyssa, if there's any issues with the presentation, come off mute and let me know at any time. And again, I do appreciate you here. As we look at everything, we're going to talk about the work that I've done here locally in Pasco County. And the reality is maybe it's somebody that works in the school system. Maybe they are a school-related personnel. Maybe they're an IA. Maybe they're a full-time faculty member or a teacher or a staff, or maybe they're doing something within the community. And
And
at Grand Canyon
Michael,
University, yep, go ahead.
we're able to see your next slide notes. I don't know if you want to go into presenter mode.
Oh, thank you for sharing
Of
that. I
course.
appreciate you. Gotcha. Thank you so much. What happened here? All right, so slideshow in the beginning, and then you're seeing my notes instead of what I need to do. And so I just have to kind of change my share, I think, to something different. Thank you so much for doing that for me. Get this going the proper way now. Okay, perfect. And then we should be better, right? We are better here with our partnership pathway. Thank you for getting me on the right path. So we should be good to go. Okay, so now we see our grow from within slide. And again, this is how we're doing it here in Pasco County. So the reality here is we were founded as a faith-based university, a teacher's college 75 years ago. And education, K-12 education, is a vital point for who we are. And I work locally with Pasco County Schools. I work closely with a lot of different departments, from the HREQ office, Human Resources Educator Quality, OLL, Office of Leading and Learning. And the reality here is there are many benefits that Pasco County has because we have a partnership in place. And part of our partnership in place is so that we can provide discounts, savings, cohorts, scholarship opportunities. But again, the Pasco County School Board is able to take advantage of our various different professional development. A couple years back, we brought somebody out from Phoenix, Arizona, who came to Pasco County and did a presentation on brain-based learning. We also help a lot of folks with all their testing that they're doing for teacher certifications. We also provide something called live lessons, which is an opportunity for us to get involved with those schools in 11th grade students or 12th grade students and provide opportunities. The most common live lesson that we do is really for interview prep or resume prep, or maybe those allied health programs that want to kind of bring in some faculty members to talk about, suturing up bananas and having that suture clinic as a live lesson. You're touching something and then you're having the academic kind of share information. A lot of my faculty members here in Pasco County like to use those maybe when they're not in their office that day, and maybe a good thing for a substitute teacher to cover. But again, we're popular for our dual enrollment classes. Our traditional campus, those two students that I was talking about, they graduate GCU in less than 3 years. And the reality is because they've earned dual enrollment classes while they're in high school. And it's important. We provide a lot of unique classes, cybersecurity. I mean, everything outside of that traditional math, English, science, history type of stuff. We got some really awesome things, and our rates are really affordable. Last time I checked, it was $52.50 a credit hour. That is an amazing rate. That is God's favor for sure. And we do a lot of really awesome things here locally in Pasco County. I'm going to let our dean kind of talk here and say a little bit more about what we do as a university.
Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Meredith Critchfield, Dean of the College of Education at GCU. Over the next few minutes, I will walk you through some of the most important elements of the certification exam process that you will likely encounter as a current or an aspiring educator candidate in our program. First and foremost, it's important to know that when you enroll in an educator preparation program and seek licensure, you're committing to two related but distinct tasks. First, successfully completing all programmatic requirements, including, but not limited to, your coursework and field experiences in your GCU COE program. Second, seeking certification through an external entity, specifically a licensing agency. These are usually state departments of education. Students who plan to conduct field placements, practicum, or student teaching outside their home state must disclose this to their student services counselor to determine whether their program of study is available. Our aim as an educator preparation program is to equip you with the essential components necessary for licensure, which includes required coursework and field experiences. And these components enable us to formally recommend you to the state for licensure through a process known as institutional recommendation. Our teacher preparation programs are approved by the Arizona State Board of Education. The College of Education is tasked with the responsibility to assess each candidate's content preparedness before they enter the classroom. Therefore, passing a content proficiency exam is a requirement for all candidates enrolled in our initial teacher licensure programs. It's also important to know that licensing agencies, again, usually state departments of education, are the only entities that can determine if you, as a student, are eligible for a certificate, license, or endorsement. GCU can provide you with the program, an initial assessment of whether GCU's program meets your state's educational requirements, and an institutional recommendation. But it's the licensing agency that provides educator license or certification. It is you, the candidate's responsibility to familiarize and understand State Department of Education and state certification requirements. This includes candidates who are seeking licensure out of state and may need to follow an out-of-state pathway or reciprocity. In many states, you must do more than just pass your courses and do well within the field experience of your program, although that's certainly important. You may also need to pass exams and have a clear background check, amongst other similar tasks. So let's break down the 3 types of exams you might be expected to take. The specific tests and the cutoff scores are passing scores. They vary from state to state. The first type of exam is a basic skills exam. Basic skills exams are usually high-stakes standardized tests in reading, writing, and math that are intended to make sure you have the basic skills needed to be a solid communicator and educator in a school. Not every state requires basic skills exams. Some do. Review and familiarize yourself with your State Department of Education and state certification requirements to ensure you understand the steps needed to certify in your state. The second type is the content knowledge exam. These are taken in addition to and typically after the basic skills exams. These are also standardized tests, but they're more discipline-specific tests where you need to know the content areas and some of the pedagogical methods around those content areas. Now, these tests can be extra tricky and they can be challenging, so give yourself plenty of time to prepare for any and all content knowledge exams. It's important to note that there may be more than one content exam required. The third type of exam, the professional knowledge exam. Typically, these come last. The standardized test is less content focused and aims to gauge your knowledge of key competencies like student development, curriculum, instruction, assessment, the school and classroom environments, and learner growth. You might be wondering when you will take these exams. The application process for student teaching starts well before the actual student teaching experience, but content exams must be passed prior to applying to student teach. Be sure to visit the University Policy Handbook for those exact due dates and deadlines for the student teaching application. Sometimes these tests can sneak up on us, so it's important to identify which exams you need to take. Give yourself plenty of time to study and sign up for the exams well in advance. Being proactive is the name of the game. We encourage you to reach out to your field experience counselor as soon as possible for assistance. Of course, there are some nitty-gritty details we need to cover about all of this test taking. If you are unable to meet the certification exam requirements, you may not be eligible to student teach, or at minimum, you might have to delay the experience. Exam score reports will only be accepted by your counselor if the official score report documents a passing score. Some states will require you to first certify in Arizona prior to certifying in your state. Some states where you might seek licensure will not permit student teaching to begin until passing content exam scores are on file with the university and/or the state. So you should check your state requirements frequently, as these are subject to change. Visit your State Department of Education website and your degree program page on gcu.edu. I know that this is a lot of information, but supporting you is our top priority. We have several resources at GCU to help you prepare for exams. First, there are several test prep library guides found online in the GCU library, and it includes resources and practice tests. Second are our exam preparation videos. These are free on-demand videos that guide you through specific exams. Visit the Student Success Center on the COE page under the Certification Exam Preparation tab. Third, your coursework includes various opportunities to prepare for critical test practice. Fourth, the University Policy Handbook outlines specific testing policies. The fifth resource is test preparation. GCU has a relationship with 240 Tutoring, an external online-based resource that provides comprehensive digital study guides, diagnostic tests, instructional content, and quizzes for the various state tests. Along with these resources, I urge you to work with your field experience counselor and your State Department of Education early and often. This will help you understand all state-specific testing requirements and certification or licensure requirements. The more that you arm yourself with helpful information, the more likely you are to succeed. Remember, the College of Education, we're here to support you on your journey. So if you ever have any questions, reach out to your counselor. You can find their name and their contact information in the student portal. You can also email the college at coe@gcu.edu or visit the Student Success Center on the College of Education page to get you all the help that you need. Thank you so much for listening. Go Lobes.
Lopes up, Dr. Critchfield. She does a great job, and I wanted to share that video because I think that's an important video. The reality there is a lot of people that may be on this presentation are looking at certification right here in the state of Florida, and Dr. Critchfield brought up a lot of points. Long story short, tons of resources that are available for folks that want to fill that teacher void here in the state of Florida, specifically in Pasco County schools. A lot of resources. If you're not interested in teaching or education, we have over 300 different online degree programs that are available. Again, connect with me as soon as you possibly can. Shoot me that text message and let me know that you're interested in Grand Canyon University. Again, contact me locally with any specific questions that you may have here about GCU. Again, we have a promise at our university, and the reality there is a faith-based university that's been around for such a long time, and we are fully accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. The reality is that we have a promise to assist all graduates in and out of the classroom in any way, shape, or form. And that can include any of their teaching materials, certification resources, curriculum assistance, faculty mentoring. That is what our College of Education is all about, is to uphold the pledge for our graduates to have the highest level of excellence in their educational setting. Grand Canyon University is a big deal, especially for those that want to get into teacher certifications. Now, we also provide resources for those educators that are on what's called an alternative pathway for teacher certification, right? There are people that have a bachelor degree outside of education and they want to fulfill a teaching obligation in the state of Florida. And we do this here in Pasco County. And so Grand Canyon University has worked exclusively here with Pasco County to provide online courses, quick classes, 6 weeks in length, no live classes, no final exams. And when humans fill out their request for the alternative pathway for teacher certification, they get what's called the statement of eligibility. And their statement of eligibility may indicate that they're going to need some credit hours completed. We have the aligned coursework here. We've worked with the Department of Education. Again, these are the classes. It's always in that human's best interest to get the information from Grand Canyon University. We're going to put it in writing for you, and then go ahead and get the Department of Education on board with your plan. It just makes a lot of sense. These are $165 per credit the last time I checked, and Grand Canyon University has a special discount for Pasco County staff, 10% off of that rate. Again, that is an amazing opportunity. I call it God's favor for sure, especially if you need any single classes in any way, shape, or form. The presentation primarily is going to focus again on teaching certification, education programs. These are some of the bachelor level programs that I want to highlight. A lot of times I will have people that are looking at early childhood education, birth up into the grade of 3 here in the state of Florida. Sometimes they want to add in some of those classes for early childhood special education. That way they know about a little bit more of development for those humans that may be on that need of some special supports at some point. We do provide an elementary education K-6 and special education K-12 certification at the bachelor's level. And then probably some of the things that I like a lot here are some of our Bachelor of Science and elementary education focus areas: Christian education, English as second language, STEM-based education, reading emphasis area. And again, we also do something called an educational studies non-licensure program. I'll tell you, when I look at transfer credits from people that may have gone to Pasco Hernando State College or Hillsborough Community College or SPC, and the reality is maybe they got a lot of other college credits that they completed. Maybe they started on a medical pathway, or maybe they were on a different pathway. The reality is these educational studies programs, these non-licensure programs, allow us to get you to that alternative pathway without having the student teaching hours and all those additional credentialing along the way. So that seems to be a very popular pathway for folks in Pasco County to look at Grand Canyon University, because they may just need a couple of classes, 6 classes, 8 classes, 12 classes. Gosh, and that can be done in under a year when we talk a little bit more about the program and how it all works out. We also do secondary education programs, right? Middle school, high school. I like to think the English, somebody who wants to be an English teacher, somebody who wants to be a history teacher, someone that wants to be a mathematics teacher, teach math. Let us know. We have these pathways that are available for you. And I mentioned it earlier, one of the things that I do as your university development counselor that lives right here in Pasco County is I take your unofficial evaluation, just anything with the grades and the classes that you've completed, and I can help you take a look and see where those transfer credits are going to go. The reality is, by the time you send me those transcripts, I can kind of blend it. I get the university to review it with me, and it gives me an evaluation and it gives me a schedule. That way we can get back on the phone and we can talk about what your degree program options are. We can talk about what your costs are going to be. And then eventually we're going to have this personalized graduation plan. So we're going to see exactly what it's going to be like from beginning to end. A lot of folks love Grand Canyon University, not only for our faith-based focus, but also for the simple fact that we have no live classes. We have no final exams, and your classes will be 7 or 8 weeks at the bachelor level. And you're still able to get this, manage a fair and true work-life family balance. I call it God's favor for sure. A lot of times with people that are looking at finishing that bachelor's degree and they don't want to spend a lot of time, they don't want to spend a lot of money, give Grand Canyon University a shot. Based on this whole conversation, we also look at alternative ways to earn college credits. This is so critical because I said it, traditional campus students, they're finishing their program in 3 years. Why should it hold us up if we're doing our program online? So we can look at all of these different programs, CLEP examinations. If you speak Spanish, you can take a test and get up to 6 college credits available. We can also go through something called Sophia Learning, where you can pay $99 per month, and we know what the different classes are, what you're going to need and what they offer, and maybe you can earn college credits that way by completing some of those. You get to transfer a maximum of 30 alternative college credits, so we do have to be careful. But again, that bottom bullet point reduces the time to completion. It allows you to kind of do that through course overlaps and double ups, because the goal is to help you graduate quickly as possible. Overall, we're going to reduce that total cost. Now, I like to break down some of these degree program options. So here's one of them, that transfer-friendly program in educational studies, right? The reality here is we have 120 total credits, but we're able to kind of bring in a lot of alternative credits through many ways. So for example, if somebody was transferring in 60 credits, we only have a couple more credits to go. And when we go through this, we're going to look at and try to fill buckets such as an effective communication bucket, a critical thinking bucket, a global awareness bucket. So the reality is, a lot of times people say to me, hey, Mike, I was at school a long time ago. Hey, C or better, they're going to come over. Let's take a look at your transcripts and see what we can do. And so when we look at Grand Canyon University, all of our students take their first class, University Success, 4 credits, 8 weeks. It starts on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday. You're going to see the syllabus of everything we're going to cover over that 8-week-long class or 7-week-long class. I love to talk about University Success because it's a unique class and it kind of sets you up to be a really awesome student. You manage your work-life balance. Our classes will follow that similar format where you're going to see that syllabus, but you're just going to work 1 week at a time. You're going to work that Monday to a Sunday. And you're always going to have a discussion question due every Wednesday and every Friday with a 200-300+ word reply. And you're also going to have something called an assignment, a worksheet, a paper. And that'll be due every Sunday night before you go to bed. And because there's no live classes and final exams, we're going to have your reply to the 24 other students that are in your class, and you're going to extend conversations or reply back with an extra 150+ words doing your participation. With online education, what you put into it is what you get out of it, but you're going to be spending, let's double the number of credit hours, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8 hours each week in terms of thinking, reading, writing, getting your work done. And you only need to log in 4 different days of the week. But obviously what you put into it is what you get out of it. And with a community, you can really have an awesome experience. Again, this one scenario has a couple of general ed classes in there. We also have a unique class to our university called Christian Worldview. It looks at Christianity from a global perspective. We'll get into your major classes sooner than later. And I think a lot of folks love that opportunity here. We're also going to finish off the rest of the degree program classes here. And the neat thing about this option here, which was this, we're halfway to the finish line. So we started here in August. In August, a year later, we're somewhere around our 7th class. And then in the next August, we're kind of 2 years or so. So we're almost, in this case here, 2 years to finish 15 classes. And we didn't do course overlaps, right? Like one class starts and then you get through 2 weeks and then your next class starts, or doubling up classes, right? Taking 2 classes at once, right? As long as you can manage that. We're not going to do overlaps and double ups until you establish a really good GPA, get A's and B's in classes, because we don't want to set you up for failure, right? We don't want to load you up with a bunch of classes and have you struggle. We want to make sure you know where all the resources are, right? Tutors, a writing center, a student success center. Dr. Critchfield talked about field experience counselors, student services counselors. And again, this guy that is talking to you that lives right here in Pasco County, a lot of my folks will text or call me or message me. Again, if you haven't already done it and you're interested in learning a lot more about Grand Canyon University, again, this presentation is focused on the College of Education, teacher programs, teacher licensure programs at the current moment in time, or ways to earn that bachelor's degree. Again, we have over 300 different degree programs, from business to nursing to humanities to theology to doctoral level studies. Grab your phone, open up your message tab, and text me. This is my number. Again, that number is 813-459-7684. Just text me right now, 813-459-7684. Just tell me your name and your email, and I'll get back to you, and we'll set up a time to talk a little bit more about where you're at and where you want to be. Again, this was one option, that transfer-friendly program option. And here's your elementary education option, right? We got people who can transfer in credits from a previous program that they were in, finishing their elementary education degree, 120 credits, and in this case, 60 credits coming over. And so we got some credits going into their effective communication bucket and their critical thinking bucket and their global awareness bucket here. And then we have the same scenario. That University Success class is now focused in on the College of Education, that Christian Worldview class, and then boom, all these program major classes. So if you ever wondered what it's like to be studying to become a licensed teacher, these are some of those major classes. Grand Canyon University's website is a great place to go to see program and course details and information. By the way, the 8th class talks about Arizona Constitution and government, right? That real campus that we have is in Phoenix, Arizona. But you and I live here in the state of Florida, so we get it. It just uses that one state for a really quickie class, 1 credit, 2-week-long class, and it uses the state of Arizona. The reality is probably a lot of people doing online may not necessarily live in the state of Arizona, and they can kind of understand that in terms of why we need to do that. Again, here's a couple more classes. And it talked about at the end of your program, a lot of times our SRP or IAs are working in the school system. They have access to a school. We can flip over the classroom. We can make sure you're still getting paid and you're able to continue to get and log those student teaching hours. Grand Canyon University has had conversations with our campus out in Phoenix, Arizona, Dr. Critchfield, a lot of other people about how we can speed up that process about student teaching hours. Why do we have to wait until the end to finish those hours? It currently is the place, but we are in process of understanding through the Department of Education and Grand Canyon University about how we can possibly speed that up. Fingers are crossed that it will help future generations. When we go through and we talk about your transfer of credits, we're also going to go through what's called the net price calculator. That way we can truly understand in writing your full cost to attend. And we don't leave anything out. We make sure that we take a look at everything that's out there. And when we go ahead and we do that, we make sure that we understand what the discounts are. And we look at special scholarships. And I have amazing scholarships. The current scholarship that I've been using most of the time is the national 32% discount scholarship that is eligible for Pasco County school employees. It's eligible for ESS. Those are the subs in Pasco County. We just have to kind of show this Grand Canyon University that you're getting paid by one of those two entities and you're eligible for that. Pretty much a lot of my people may also utilize financial aid. They may be eligible for Pell Grants. They may be eligible for some funds from the federal government. They may also take advantage of tuition assistance through the military if they have a military connection. And then a lot of folks are eligible through the SRP to Teacher Reimbursement Program. And if you're not familiar with it, go ahead and take a look at that. That's on the Pasco County School District website. But the reality is the school district needs teachers. They want you. They want to support you. And they're going to help you out with kind of funding the cost for books. In our case, our Canyon Connect fee. They're going to take care of that fee. And then they're also going to take care of about $110 or so per credit hour that you complete. So the reality is all of that stuff matters so we can help you finish your degree with the least amount of debt. When you do the evaluation or you contact me here locally, I'm able to put a lot of that stuff in writing. I made mention just a moment ago about the Pell Grant. Again, the Pell Grant is something that happens when you complete your free application for federal student aid, your FAFSA. And from time to time, there could be flags that come up, so a verification may be needed. And at one point in time, again, this presentation notices the 23-24 school year. We're currently in the 24-25 school year. You may also notice when you log into your financial aid account, your student aid account, that you'll see the 25-26 FAFSA year. Don't do that one just yet because that's for students that are starting after July 1st, right? The government is a fiscal year government. And if we wanted to get started in our program in March or April or May or June, we want to complete the 24-25 FAFSA. If we're going to start in July, August, September, October, we'll do 25-26. And the good news, Grand Canyon University with our online program, we have monthly starts. And a lot of times I build cohorts for Pasco County. So make sure you connect with me locally to find out when the best scholarshiping and start dates are. Again, there are rules specifically for Pell Grant, and when you submit your financial aid, you'll get notifications from the government about your Pell Grant eligibility. Let me know. We'll see how we can help you. We also talk about something called Teach Grant, which is there are programs that may provide additional savings from the federal government. The Teach Grant is an acronym, Teacher Education for College and Higher Education Grants. And the reality there is it's a $16,000 lifetime grant from the government where basically you have to get good grades. You have to get a 3.25 grade point average, A's and B's in school when you finish your program. And as soon as you're eligible for it, then that will start the process for you to be eligible for some of these grant funds. And then when you finish your program, you have to teach in that Title I school 4 out of 8 years. So it's a commitment to serve. And they give you a little bit of break in case your school changes or you change to a different school or you need to take a break for your family. There's a little bit of flexibility. So grant funds are also good ways to not have crazy debt. Let's have that conversation. The reality when it's all said and done here with credits and scholarshiping and grant funds from the university, you know, we are trying to help people in that regard. So when we look at programs with no Teach grants, and we have to factor in whether they have Pell Grant or no Pell Grant, then we have to look at scholarshiping and things like that. But the reality there is this chart, if we got your calculator out, you can start to notice how we can help you save some money, and that's an important thing. When we factor in programs that have Teach Grant funds, well then, now all of a sudden with full Pell Grant and with full Teach Grant, we kind of got things covered right there. So those are God's favor for sure, again, to not have crazy debt. When I look at some of these things and I see the ability to finish degrees without the crazy costs of that, that's God's favor in the form of grants, Teach Grants and Pell Grants for sure. We absolutely want to try to help humans here in Pasco County with that. We also talk about, and I also put this slide up there just to let you know that if you do decide to take on that pathway to become a teacher, to become an educator, we know that, right? Our society, we recognize people that work in the schools. We recognize first responders, and the government does too, because this is all pre-Biden stuff. This is all in our system. There are federal loan forgiveness programs in place, and pretty much every school will probably have somebody that just got her loans or his loans forgiven through the process. So again, you have to be a full-time teacher. You got to be serving a specific area. There are various different loan amounts, whether it's $5,000 up to $17,500. And again, depending upon specifically what it is that you're teaching. And again, you have to kind of have specific full-time responsibility. Maybe working in those Title I schools will kind of help you. And being a teacher for 5 complete and consecutive years helps the cause. But the Student Aid Gov website has details and information on that. Your principal, your loan holder should also be able to help you out as well. And this is for folks that have loans. Again, I am part of your graduation team. That's me, a Tampa Bay-based counselor, Michael Gunther. We work with a student services counselor. Vanessa lives out in Phoenix, Arizona. She helps a lot of my peeps help you with your academic progress, your schedule, your financial aid. And then if we're in a licensure program like the Bachelor of Science in Elementary Ed or Special Ed, or some of those secondary education licensure programs, we have field experience counselors, and they're very familiar with Pasco County. We understand that whole Grow From Within campaign. There are people who have graduated from a Pasco high school, who have gone to other locations, who have finished up degree programs at Grand Canyon University, and have gone on to finish their bachelor's degrees. There are people that have finished their master's degree in educational leadership and many other programs who have graduated from GCU as well. So we are well known here in Pasco County. Again, we also use instructors, again, not necessarily those in the campus in Phoenix, Arizona. Our instructors are full-time because they get it. They understand that our students are working full-time and they have family obligations. So they don't need to be available for this small window. They can be available many different times. And that's the great part about the way that the world is right now with availability, and Grand Canyon University truly understands that. Dr. Critchfield did talk about tutoring. She talked about 240 tutoring. Man, so many resources that our university has available is pretty awesome. Student tutoring, one-on-one attentions. And we use many different ways to kind of go ahead and work with students. But again, we probably have students that have completed classes who can kind of act as tutors, can provide those one-on-one attentions through Zooms or Teams, or maybe even using those virtual chalkboards that they have to go through various different work. Again, our Student Success Center, we have all kinds of certifications in place for as students are preparing for their exams, all those test preps that Dr. Critchfield mentioned. And again, a lot of my staff in Pasco County, if they've seen me visit their elementary, middle, or high school within the last couple of months, they've probably seen a flyer that I asked the principal, assistant principal, or secretary to send. So if you haven't heard about anything recently from GCU and you want to try to get in touch with me, contact me, because we also share a flyer from our Canyon Professional Development. Dr. Critchfield talked a little bit about the professional development that we do, and we have an opportunity for a free class. So maybe it's something that can help you in some way, shape, or form. A lot of awesome resources there. And this is a really cool picture of me about 15 years ago. I'm still a good looking, handsome man, but nonetheless, I am your local university development counselor. I live right here in Pasco County, and everything that I talked about. This presentation, again, focused primarily on those teacher licensure programs, or people that are in the pathway for teacher licensure or teacher certifications. But again, we have over 300 different online programs. We have a traditional campus in Phoenix, Arizona. I can get you connected in many different ways. That evaluation of looking at transfer credits minutes is a big deal, and I am here to help anytime. I do phone calls early in the morning. I do phone calls after 5 p.m. I do phone calls in the middle of the day. I'll do them over spring break. I'll do them in the summer months. If you ever need me, I am here for you. I tend to spend a lot of time with my current students on Fridays, checking in with them, supporting them, praying for them, and guiding them along their journey. My website is a great place to go. That is a specific website dedicated for Pasco County Schools. That is my email, michael.gunther@gcu.edu. And again, the last time I'll bring it up tonight is my phone number, my mobile device, my cell phone. I do take messages. I have no problem whatsoever. I prefer that. You can text me anytime. Again, if you have your mobile device out to your message tab, you can text me right now. Again, that number is 813-459-7684. Again, as we're sunsetting here in Pasco County, here is a sunset on our campus in Phoenix, Arizona. That is our basketball arena on the left-hand side. That's where our D1 team plays. Next week is their big Western Athletic Conference Championship, and then after that is March Madness. All of our academic buildings there, and on the bottom right-hand corner is a little quad of some of those newer dorms that I talked about. Again, suite style living, and then again, there's a pool in the middle there, which is kind of cool. Again, all of our dorms have pools. It's Mike over at Grand Canyon University. It's been my pleasure to spend some time with you here this evening. And again, if there's anything that I can do for you in any way, shape, or form, please don't hesitate to text, call, or email me anytime. Okay, I just want to wish you all lopes up. There's thunder. There's me giving you the lopes up right there. Have a great evening, and thank you so much. Mike Gunther from Grand Canyon University. God bless and stay healthy.